Hello, we meet again at the VNA broadcast daily, and following are today's top stories.
Vietnam celebrates Dien Bien Vu victory over the French. Vietnam's first remote sensing satellite launched into orbit from France. National Road Safety Week kicks off in Hanoi.
On May 7th, Vietnam celebrated the 59th anniversary of the Dien Bien Phu victory over the French. The victory put an end to the French colony in Vietnam and Indochina. It served as a bright example of national liberation for colonized nations worldwide.
On December the 6th, 1953, President Ho Chi Minh chaired a Politburo meeting approving the strategic plan to attack French colonialists during the winter-spring of 1954. The attack ended with the historic Dien Bien Vu victory, which surprised the whole world and ended the nation's 9-year resistance war against the French colonialists. The victory is also closely attached to General Vo Win Sat, legendary commander who made clear-sighted decisions that contributed to the historic triumph.
Vietnam's first remote sensing satellite, VNRED-SAT-1, was launched into orbit at 9:06 a.m. on May 7th from the Coral launch pad, Guinea, France.
The satellite is able to capture images about areas in the world. It is expected to assist efforts to deal with flooding, forest fire, oil overflow, and other incidents quickly and effectively. The project has a total investment of around $72.9 million from the French government's official development assistance and the Vietnamese state's contribution of around $3.2 million. The satellite was designed and built by Astrum SAS, an affiliate of the European Aeronautic Defense and Space Company. It was originally scheduled to be launched on May the 4th, but the plan was delayed due to strong wind and other unfriendly weather patterns at the Guinea Space Center.
A biodiversity conservation action plan was inked in Pretoria, South Africa on May 6th during the talks between Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Ha Công Tuấn and South African Deputy Minister of Water and Environmental Affairs Rejoy Madugavhasi.
The plan prioritizes management capacity improvement, biodiversity conservation and law enforcement in the field in line with each country's law and international conventions, including the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. The plan will take effect until 2017. Later, the two sides will review its results and issues. As part of the visit, the Vietnamese officials will make a fact-finding tour of national parks, where they expect to exchange experience in biodiversity management, conservation, and law enforcement in the field.
A project to enhance the exchange of information among Vietnamese legislative bodies was launched in Hanoi on May 7th. The project is carried out by the National Assembly Standing Committee's Institute for Legislative Research under the auspices of the United Nations Development Programme.
The $1.7 million project will run from now until 2015. While Vietnam is perfecting law systems, building a law-governed state, renovating operations of judicial agencies, and increasing the legislators' efficiency. The project will provide information and in-depth studies for the National Assembly, including its committees and deputies. It is also expected to assist in amending a number of laws, including those on the organization of the National Assembly, People's Councils, People's Committees and Government. Besides, it will assist the Judicial Committee's activities regarding the laws on the organization of the People's Court, People's Procuracy and Criminal Investigation Agencies, criminal procedures and anti-corruption laws. Louise Chamberlain, UNDP Country Director in Vietnam, said the project will help turn more law initiatives into projects.
Vietnam exports to Singapore reached around $554 million in the first quarter of this year, up by more than 30% over the same period last year.
According to the Singapore Department of Statistics, mobile phones and components, machinery, equipment, tools and spare parts were key items imported from Vietnam in the quarter. The department noted the reappearance of crude oil in the list of imported goods after being absent in the first quarter of last year. Vietnamese rice and black pepper, footwear, wood and woodworks, paper and paper products, electric and cable wires saw increases in export value. Meanwhile, Singapore gained more than $2.35 billion from selling goods to Vietnam. Petroleum, machinery, equipment and tools are key products the ASEAN member country shipped to Vietnam. Last year, two-way trade between Vietnam and Singapore reached $12.82 billion, up by 6.2% against the previous year.
Vietnam aims to raise the national literacy rate to 98% in 15 to 16-year-olds by 2020 under a project recently signed by the Prime Minister.
800,000 people in the above age group will become literate, reaching 96% by 2015. 300,000 ethnic minorities will learn to read and write, reaching 90%. On provincial and district level units, and 95% of commune level units look to meet literacy goals between next year and 2020. To realize such goals, the project suggests that more classes open for ethnic minorities, especially those tailored for people with disabilities and visually and hearing impaired people. At the same time, teachers will receive training on ethnic languages and customs. Those working in disadvantaged areas will benefit from incentives. On top of this, an illiteracy elimination and post-literacy education program will be renewed to run in tandem with the general education program after 2015.
A National Road Safety Week kicked off in Hanoi on May 6th. The event was launched by the National Traffic Safety Committee and the World Health Organization.
In response to the United Nations Global Road Safety Week dedicated to pedestrians, the event was launched in all 63 cities and provinces with activities like guiding people how to cross the road properly. The event is expected to raise public awareness of traffic law, accident causes, and ways to avoid them. On the other hand, riders are also urged to limit speed and make way for pedestrians. According to the World Health Organization, Vietnam records as many as 9,000 accident deaths each year. On average, 30 people die every day in the country. 3% of all road accidents involve pedestrians.
But also presenting evidence on interventions that work and how these interventions can help reduce the number of deaths and the cases of disability from road crashes, to reduce road-related deaths.
During the week, efforts will be made to free pavements for walkers, remind pedestrians to keep designated paths and fine violations. Recently, Vietnam has completed a comprehensive legal framework and made it illegal to ride a motorbike without a helmet. These efforts are encouraging despite existing challenges.
100 Finnish posters went on display at an exhibition that opened in the central city of Da Nang on May 6th. The event aimed to celebrate the 40th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Vietnam and Finland.
The show depicts not only the evolution of graphic design, but also Finland's socio-economic development since the beginning of the 20th century. Visitors can see a broad range of images from sports, tourism, advertising, and education during the 4-day event. The art of Finnish poster design developed with the European style and then spread to other countries worldwide. A number of techniques were established during the 19th century to promote the development of many printing techniques, including lithography, chromolithography, screen printing, posters, and photo montage.
And that is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.